What's going on, Washington Commanders Nation, Cincinnati Bengals Nation, if y'all pull up as well. This is a week 3 game preview. This is the LSU Heisman Trophy Bowl, and we got the 1-1 Washington Commanders, who are heavy underdogs, to the 0-2 slow starting Cincinnati Bengals. I got my guy Zim coming on representing the Cincinnati podcast. How are we doing this afternoon, my guy?
Doing really damn good, man. I'm happy to be here, man. I'm glad you got me on here. We was chopping it up a bit before we came on, and you know what I'm saying? I feel really good about like the matchup, and I feel good about being here today.
Hey, man, thanks for coming on with me. I heard it early on as soon as you hopped on the stream with me. You sound like you from the city, my guy. You're a Cincinnati Bengals fan. Where you from, my boy?
Born and raised Northeast DC, been and road. If y'all know Shrimp Boat, you know that's me. All of that area. I moved out of the city after the 6th grade. I'm a Maryland dude now, so how people be like, man, Maryland ass nigga. So I'm a Maryland ass nigga now. So it is what it is. But when I was young, my father used to travel a lot, and my uncles, they were Bengals fans. But originally, I was just going to UC Bearcats games, and so I was dumb young. Everybody was super cool with me. My family never pushed it on me. They were Skins fans, and they never really pressed me. And you can't find a picture where we went with no Skins gear on or nothing like that. But from an early age, I just gravitated. I was going to games out there like when I was like 8, 9, and then I played video games. I would always get the Bengals and stuff like that. And as I grew and I got older, or whatever, and I got in like college or whatever, Ocho it was out of there at that point. And I ain't looked back. And now I'm like this crazy super fan that's locked in with all the players and stuff. So it's been a fun ride, and I enjoy rooting for them boys.
I can see, man, you built up a nice following with you over 30,000 followers. I see you over there, and you are the leader of the Joe Burrow fan club. Talk to me about your quarterback, man. We got 2 Heisman Trophy winners out of LSU. Talk to me about where you feel Joe Burrow. Look at the guy. Talk to me about where you feel Joe Burrow stands in the landscape of the quarterbacks in this league.
That's one of those subjective conversations. Like I'm a homer ass fan. So for me, Joe Burrow, there's an argument. If I had one ring, I'd tell you an argument where I think he's the best quarterback in the league. But I'm not that crazy. I do think that it's valid if somebody tell me they think is Lamar better, or they think Josh is better, or whatever. Because depending on what you like, whatever your cup of tea is from the quarterback position, this is what that's going to be like what you roll with. I feel like Joe, in a short amount of time, in his first full NFL season, took a team that everybody said was dog shit to a Super Bowl. That in itself, and then coming back, and everybody says, and I was just talking to some Commander fans in my group chat. They're like, y'all had that one run. They're talking crazy to me. Y'all had that one run, but this is the crazy thing: the 2022 Bengals were way better than the Super Bowl team. They went on a 10-game win streak. They were on fire. Like, we would get out on teams early. The defense was pretty good. But the offense, I just thought like on a week-to-week basis was cooking. And Joe Burrow is the catalyst of it all. And when you pay a quarterback that much, they say you can't have this, you can't have that. And no matter if Jamar Chase is there or T. Higgins has not been there, we didn't see him throw to Trent Irwin. We didn't see him throw to whoever, guys y'all never even heard of. And he does it every single week. And what he's done in a short amount of time after tearing his ACL, comeback player of the year, going crazy. And even his rookie season on a 2-win team that he inherited was leading in rookie of the year votes. And people don't talk about that. When we were playing, y'all, he was starting to hit his stride. I thought he was playing really well. And it is part of the story. And people say you lucked up to get Jamar Chase, but this motherfucker had to tear his whole leg up to go get Jamar Chase. So that's the other part that they don't talk about. But since then, I feel like he's the leader, and he's the confidence, and he's everything that behind the scenes I don't think people understand about Cincinnati. They weren't confident, and I feel like he gives us that in that leadership, and that goes into my whole thing about, this is why Joe Burrow is him for real.
Hell yeah. And I think there's a conversation to be had about who's the number 2 quarterback in the league behind Mahomes, whether that's Burrow or Allen. It's subjective based on what you like. I think nobody places the ball on a consistent basis better than Joe Burrow. I think his ball placement, that shit is pinpoint accurate, and he's such a smooth, calm, collective killer. He's a killer and don't got to talk about it. He has this swagger and silence to his game. I rock with Joe. You mentioned that game back in 2020. That's when it was Joe Burrow versus Chase Young. We were the football team.
Wow.
Need the fuck up 4 years ago. That was back when Chase Young was good at football. So I know that was a minute ago.
Man, look, I had I live in I got a lot of land or whatever. When that shit happened, I put a big ass poster of Allen out there in my little shooting range joint or whatever. I was sick. Like, I've been sick. If you ask a Bengal fan, like, that shit still triggers us. Like, do not bring that dude's name. And they were in the free agents. They was like, bro, we need to make a play for him and go get him. I was like, hell no, we don't. He tore up Joe's leg. Like, motherfuckers have never forgave that dude for that. Jonathan Allen, we've never forgiven him for that shit, bro. But at the same time, I don't know what your faith is. I feel like everything happens for a reason. So it is.
Everything does happen for a reason. And Joe came back. He bounced back from it. Took y'all to the Super Bowl without an offensive line with his boy from LSU, Jamar Chase. Your two wide receivers. We haven't seen T. Higgins this year. We've seen Jamar Chase. He was crashing out versus the Chiefs last week because the refs was giving y'all a hard time. Are your receivers not all the way there because of contractual issues, or are they actually, one has been banged up and the other one has just been out there? Y'all just been able to be effective yet?
You're asking some really good damn questions. I'm like, hey, this guy Rio, he's smooth as hell, ain't he? Like, I like how he trains. It's a goddamn professional we got here, folks.
Do this.
I think that's a great question. I feel like the contract stuff does linger, and those are the things in the offseason. All the Bengals fans like, man, he got 2 years left. I mean, it don't matter, bro. Just let it play. I said, hey, hear me out. There's some people in this world that like Lambos, and there's some people that like Hondas. This is a Lamborghini right here, and you do not take it to a Midas to go get an oil change, like
at all.
Bro needs his bread off the top, and I get it. Like Cincinnati natives, they're not hearing a lot of that sometimes. That I be like telling people, I'm like, bro want his bread. Like, y'all could go and strong arm all the rest of the roster, but he wants his bread. So I do think that factors into it. But at the same time, the backstory was McDuffie fucked up Tyler Boyd's leg literally the same exact way in the AFC Championship game. 2023, which wasn't that long ago, people. Tore his leg up, or fucked his knee up in that game after we was cooking him early. And behind the scenes, the players been like, not that he's dirty, but they don't like some of the stuff that McDuffie done. So when he did it again, I thought that Jamar Chase's knee, I'm sitting with his father at the game. I thought like Jamar Chase's knee was like kind of pent if you look at like the picture or whatever. So he didn't appreciate that. To me, it was like a standard hit. I don't think that it was. Maybe I'm naive. I don't think that the dude did it on purpose. But Jamar knee was like fucked up, so he naturally was like, man, this is a hip drop or whatever. Call something like. And all of the contract stuff, all these different things. You ain't got T. Higgins out there that normally takes all the double teams off him. All these frustrations. McDuffie had a quote today I saw. And it was like, yeah, you want to get Jamar Chase head? Don't allow him to get the ball. And I mean, there's validity to that.
Hell yeah. And I think he just don't like the Chiefs. That plays a part in it as well. I remember watching the top 100 countdown. He didn't even want to say Pat Mahomes' name. That is real ops. That is real hatred. And I think the NFL needs to bring back hatred. I know these dudes are all friends at the end of the day. They want to do jersey swaps at the end of the season, but we need to bring back hatred in sports, because when teams ain't fuck with each other, we got better football, man.
I agree. Joe had a quote. I think it was, I forgot what game it was, but somebody got flagged for like something. It might have been Caitlin Clark getting or whatever. But Joe went out of his way, like at a press conference and on Twitter, and he was like, man, we got to bring back shit talking like the sports, like calling flags and all that stuff like that. He's not with that shit. So like even last week, he got popped on a run, and he got up, he flexed like this is the quarterback flexing like that. So like that turned everybody up. That the little bit of Bengal fans that were there, that turned us up. But that's to me, that's a part of the game. It's like whether you talk shit or not, they're gonna run the highlights of you getting cooked regardless. So if you need confidence to say some stuff before the game, whatever, do so. If you're a quiet person, put your head down, do that too. But regardless, they're going to if you get cooked, they're not gonna give a fuck if you come back later on and be like, you know what? He was so complimentary of my team beforehand. I'm just gonna let him slide. Like, nah, they're gonna be like, nah, you got cooked, and here's the play, and we're all gonna laugh at you. So it is what it is.
It is what it is. Y'all have started the season 0-2. Y'all seem to get off to this Cincinnati bullshit every offseason. And then by the time we get to December, as long as your quarterback's healthy, y'all are in contention and looking at the AFC. And we're talking about, are they going to meet up with the Chiefs in the AFC Championship again? What is different about this year? How the fuck did y'all lose to that Patriots team I watched last night? And is this a emergency game? Because 0-3 in the AFC and in that division could be a death sentence.
Oh, it's a must win. I like the Commander fans that I've been talking to or whatever, they playing. They keep on playing, man. Like, yeah, man, like talking shit. I'm like, man, I ain't saying nothing because on my end, the pressure is on. Like, I don't know if y'all understand that. The Bengals are in a situation, to me, this week and the next week is a must win because then after that, they play the Ravens. I hope the players aren't looking ahead like me. I'm just sitting around watching sports. Like, they need to focus, lock the fuck in, and go win this game. This is a major game. It's Ring of Honor night. Corey Dillon getting inducted. It's supposed to be a big deal. You know what I mean? So for them to not win this game would be catastrophic. I seen somebody like a Bengal fan say that earlier. That was like, man, I don't feel like this. I'm like, bro, you go 0-3, you are cooked in the AFC. Like, not happening. I feel like they could make their way out of it, but it would be like you're battling all year. And then you start getting that turmoil, the contract stuff going to come back up. If Bro not feeling, you know what I'm saying? You got to keep all these guys motivated. So there's a lot at stake on the Bengals, and I feel like they have to win this game.
Yeah, we're already in code red in week 3 for the Ravens and the Cincinnati Bengals. The Ravens are playing our ops this weekend. They're playing the Cowboys in a must-win game. Y'all got us on Monday Night Football. You from the city. You still reside in the DMV. So when you see the Commanders pop up on the schedule, does this feel like a gimme game to you? Or are you looking at it like, no, we can fuck around and lose this if we play games on Monday?
I'm gonna tell you the realest shit ever. My sister is a season ticket holder, big Commanders fan, right? She don't really talk shit though. She just likes the environment, like it's cool to her. So low key, that's my sister. So I always want the Commanders to win, and it's the home team. I feel like the energy, like if y'all live here, when the Cowboys win, it's like fucked up vibes. I don't like it. Like I hate the Cowboys.
Shit is true.
But for this week, I need the Cowboys. I need them to bury the Ravens. And this week, I need to bury, my hometown ops, I guess, for the week or whatever. Like, yeah, like normally I'm like, yeah, all right, cool. Like, go Skins. Like my dad, like he's still a Commander fan or whatever. He really a Redskin fan. He's not really a Commander fan, but he still, wants them to win or whatever. Like he'll probably pull up to my house on Monday if I don't go to this game. He probably pull up with an RG3 jersey on or something like that. He's like that guy. So I don't hate it. Like this is where I'm from. You know what I'm saying? Like to me, that's weird. You know what the Cowboys remind me of around here? You ever go to a school, like, all right, say me and you go to school, right? And we got all our classes together and we from the city, whatever, or what we from Maryland, whatever. We go to all our classes all week. We cool, we kicking it, lunch table, everything. Then we got a basketball game on Thursday night. And then we walk into the gym. And then you go to the left and I go to the right.
Like shit. Like double lives type shit.
A Cowboy fan in DC just never been to Texas. They don't know nobody in Texas. They don't know nothing about it, but they'll tell you that they a diehard Cowboy fan. And that shit always just threw me off.
Oh yeah, and you be boots on the ground. You was just at the game the other day. You be boots on the ground for your Cincinnati Bengals, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm on the road, I'm on the road with it. So I was in the trenches with that Kansas City game. So it is what it is.
He was out at what they call Burrow head last week in a pool full of Chiefs fans, and it ain't the type of scene we look too accustomed to over there.
Man, look, I mean, like they was cool though. I stood up the whole damn game. Like you had to stand up with so many damn people there, but that was cool. But yeah, the Burrow head, them referees was like, yeah, Burrow head my ass, bro. Like get these motherfuckers about it. they was not tripping.
Oh, yeah. Appreciate you, Marshall, for the 199. He said, great raw analysis. Appreciate you for that donation, my boy. But let's talk about it, though. Washington's quarterback, rookie quarterback, Jayden Daniels. He's 1-1 so far. Hasn't thrown a touchdown pass, scored 2 with his legs. He has not turned the ball over in 2 games, and he's been efficient so far. What is your concern level in defending Jayden Daniels in our rushing attack, which has Brian Robinson Jr., who went off last week, Austin Eckler splitting carries with him, and a quarterback that's liable to run for 100 any week?
On a level from 1 to 10, honestly, probably like a 5, 6. You know what I'm saying? Like, we just went against Pat Mahomes this past week, and it was the worst game of his career. So, like, from my standpoint, I feel like our secondary and everything has gotten so much better. The run defense is the biggest issue, right? And it's a lot of injuries and it's a lot of things up front. But like I was saying in that 2022 season, what the Bengals are going to do, and I think that they will try to do this on Monday night, I think they're going to want to get the ball first. If you've never been to Cincy, them night games are very loud. They're like, I've been all around the world. They're very loud. I think they want to get him in a position where he's feeling like this is the LSU biggest game of my life, but down on the scoreboard. Now, and the reason why I say that is because this is the thing that I've been telling Bengals fans is that if the game is tight, they can't consistently stop the run. So, like, if it's a 10-14 game in this third quarter, yeah, y'all going to still be running the ball, and the front can't hold up. The Bengals have to get out to a lead. Joe Burrow can come back on whoever.
Yep.
But defensively, in our division, we're getting some guys back. We got our second round pick back, whatever. But Rankins, BJ Hill, these guys are not playing, and so there's a void up front. The only way, and I stand on this for a long time, the only way to get teams out of stopping the run, there's a lot of different things you do. But the number one thing you could do is score points. Yep. And if you score points, I'm gonna make you run the football, and you're gonna run the damn clock out. Like that last week, the Chiefs were running the ball really, really well. But we were up. And so they would try to run, and they were 1-8 on third down. They would run, but they wouldn't get first downs. And then we would get you, and our coordinator is very keen on making quarterbacks confused, especially on third down. He'll give you a big chunk run here and there. He'll give you a Jayden Daniels scramble. He's gonna give you a lot of good runs. You might have 150 yards rushing. He does not give a fuck. The only thing that he cares about is points per drive. And if he limits you to that and you're running the football, we'll walk out of there and be like, I don't care. He's trying to stop you from throwing the football. So the thing that would concern me the most is that the game is tight. I think that you guys can still successfully run the football, and that's going to be the biggest challenge because I don't want my cornerbacks coming up and run support because then the shot down the field late in the game is there and you just got all this confidence building going on. So if I'm the Bengals, I'm trying to knock all the confidence out of you early.
Yep, and Lou is a very good defensive coordinator, and that's why you're hearing people trying to poach him away for head coaching jobs every offseason, it seems. And what you just said explains the tail of the tape for Washington. Time of possession, Joe Burrow cannot beat you if Joe Burrow's not on the football field. We opened up our game versus the Giants the other day on a 10-minute drive, and the problem was we got all the way down there. We got penalties on the goal line and ended up settling for a field goal. We scored 7 field goals and did not punt or turn over the ball once versus the Giants, and it only amounted to 21 points. You can't do that versus a team like Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals. But our rushing attack, I'm looking at y'all's rushing defense through 2 weeks. Ramondre Stevenson got his. Even slow-ass Jacoby Brissett got a little bit of rushing yards.
Oh, yeah. He was going off.
Yeah, Mahomes' big sluggish ass was getting some yards, and Pacheco, before he got hurt, he had just under 100 yards. Brian Robinson and Eckler are not chump at all, and Jayden Daniels, his legs are a factor every week. So our one way to win the game is to keep Joe Burrow off the field for as much time as possible. But moving over to your defensive side of the ball, I know you said you got some injuries up front on the inside. Y'all signed Lawrence Guy, I believe, this week.
Yeah.
The run play, is it because a lack of talent in the middle of that defense? Is it the second level? Is it the linebackers? How is rookie Peyton Wilson look? And what's your linebacker room looking like right now?
Peyton Wilson's with the Steelers.
Not Peyton. Wait, no, wrong Wilson. Wrong Wilson. My bad.
Logan Wilson.
Logan Wilson. Yeah.
So our linebackers, our duo, they're currently second. Both of them are second in the NFL in tackles.
Mm-hmm.
To me, I don't know if people watch the Super Bowl, but Logan Wilson, had we won that game, he probably would have got MVP of the game. Like, he was the best guy on the field to me.
It's all over the field.
On a week-to-week basis, I thought that they made Mahomes' life hell last week. Like, our linebackers are a major strength of our team. Mm-hmm. They're not household names, but Logan Wilson, since he's entered into the NFL, leads all linebackers in interceptions. He's really good at baiting guys into, like, throws, making you think that he's going to come with, like, an A or B gap blitz and then backing out of it, and he has, like, good athleticism. I don't think that he has the sideline athleticism to keep up with Jayden Daniels, but him and Pratt are big hitters. Mm-hmm. So, you know, the defensive line portion that you were talking about, I do think that you guys could get big runs. It's about third down conversions to me, though. The defensive line, I don't want to get too far from your question. The defensive line currently has 6 injuries. We had a guy, Cam Sample, tore his Achilles or something at camp, so he was gone. The rookie, McKinley Jackson, that we brought in just to be a zero gap, nose tackle in the NFL, he got hurt before the season even started. DJ Hill, Rankins got hurt last week. Miles Murphy, the first-round defensive end from last year, he got hurt in the joint practices. I'm missing one other person, but the defensive line is banged the fuck up. Mm-hmm. But the scheme is low-key, is bait, though. Like that, the reason why we didn't re-sign DJ Reader is because the scheme is predicated on coverage. So on the back end, the number 1 rated cornerback in the National Football League. I know people seen Cam Taylor-Britt talking that talk.
And he should.
But he's the number 1 rated currently if you subscribe to any PFF. And fuck PFF. He's really damn good.
Fuck PFF, for real.
Fuck PFF.
Thank you.
He's really good. He's really good. The other cornerback, Dax Hill, is another first-round talent in itself. Even the slot corner and Mike Hilton, I think, is like a top slot in the NFL. You got Von Bell over there, too. And we got Geno Stone, who was second in the NFL in interceptions last year. So you got this coverage. And Jordan Battle, that's the second. Like, this is all this coverage. It's all predicated to making teams throw the football. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I wouldn't buy – like, I see a lot of people talking about that. You're going to get off running the football, but you have to score, or Joe Burrow's coming back down to put up 7. And that's how the Bengals are playing.
And we haven't even mentioned the most not talked about dominant pass rusher in the NFL, Hendrickson, Trey Hendrickson. Everybody forgets about him. Maybe his game isn't the sexiest. There's not the craziest spin movies, not the most athletic. That is one of the most impactful edge rushers in this league. Talk to me about your edge rushers, man.
Trey Hendrickson.
A dog.
Hey, look, out of anybody on my team, I would stick out my chest more for Trey Hendrickson, maybe more than Jamar Chase. I feel like he's that problematic.
Ooh.
I'm telling you.
He's a dog.
I'm telling you, a lot of people, they be talking that like I'm in a division with TJ Watt and Miles Garrett.
Yep.
Now, those guys are better defensive linemen all around, 100%. I have a great argument that Trey Hendrickson might be a better rusher. And I know that sounds crazy to the average person, but listen to players that talk about him. First of all, he's a psychopath. He don't wear no gloves. A devout Christian. He will knock you out and pray over top of you. Like this dude, they do not talk about him like a lot, but I'm telling you, the last 2 weeks, he got both the left tackles benched in both of those games. Ooh. His pressure rate is higher than anybody else in the National Football League. He is double teamed 34%. That's higher than Myles Garrett. That's higher than anybody in the National Football League, and he still gets through. He has nobody on the other side at all. I respect y'all interior offensive line a lot. I wanted Cosme instead of Jackson Carmen, bum ass. But I respect I think y'all interior offensive line is super underrated. They're playing really good. But them tackles, I'm telling you, this dude he made Patrick Mahomes' life the best quarterback in football. He made his life hell last week. Jacoby Brissett, he was running out of a lot of shit. He probably broke like 4 or 5 tackles. He's big as hell. He's like 6'4".
Big brolic ass.
Big brolic. He's super low key. Like, I'm not trying to hype him up, but he was breaking a lot of tackles.
He was, bro.
But Trey Hendrickson, I always said, I'd be like, bro, he be coming around that corner like you would not believe. He does struggle sometimes, I feel like, with shorter tackles. He went up against this dude Makari for the Ravens last year, totally stonewalled him. Anybody that's tall, I done seen him give Trent Williams work. I'm talking about kill Trent Williams. So anybody that like he gets so low to the ground is not a household name. But in the overall scheme of it, he's had 100 less snaps than Myles Garrett and TJ Watt since 2020, but only has 8 less snaps than them. I mean, 8 less sacks than those guys. So even the sacks, the pressures, all of the numbers, they all check out.
And that's why when I tell fans that give Jonathan Allen and Daron Payne, and they used to do it with Chase Young, all these excuses for not producing, they're getting double, they're getting triple. All the good players in the league do. The cream of the crop rises, and they still produce on Sunday. Trey Hendrickson reminds me of the all-time sack leader here, Ryan Kerrigan, but with a higher motor. Higher motor, Ryan Kerrigan. They look like two of the same pie. He's going to be a fucking problem for our offense because we got to give Jayden Daniels time to have a chance in this game. We can run all we want to, but to punch that shit in the end zone, we're going to have to convert in third down. And we're going to have to give Jayden some time to open up the offense down the field. An offense that Cam Taylor Britt, your boy, one-handed interception, Odell style last week, and said, we run a simple college-style offense. Talk your shit. I know what I've seen through the first 2 weeks. How do you feel about your cornerback and your defensive matchup versus us overall?
I like the coverage. I hate us up front. I feel like up front y'all have a good route to go and control the clock, control the game, use a lot of the Patriots formula. Excuse me. The one thing that I didn't talk about in the Patriots game, this is a little context. You could call it an excuse or whatever. They went the whole summer and said, T. Higgins, you're gonna be we're gonna roll you out week 1. We're gonna go crazy. You got franchise tag, whatever. He got hurt on a Thursday or whatever. We found out he wasn't going to play on Friday. Jamar Chase didn't practice the whole week. So every single practice in week 1, like from that Friday and on to the game on Sunday, it was like super vanilla. They didn't really even know what they were going to do. They thought they could just go there, play the Patriots, check the ball down, and just win the game just off that. If you go look at it, none of them two, Jacoby threw for 130, Mahomes threw for like 150. 80 of the yards from Mahomes came behind the line of scrimmage. Like he had 50 yards, like throwing down the field. Their coverage is good. But offensively in that game, they sucked. The Bengals did. And that's the context with it because our team rolls off of our offense. I think y'all could do the same formula, but keep in mind, T. Higgins and Jamar Chase, now this is the first time that they're playing the whole season together, and they both just had a whole week of practice. So like the game plan and what they're going to do is going to be like, I feel like they should put points up on the board.
Yep, this is all going to come down to, is Jamar and Higgins going to run laps around our slum-ass secondary? And are y'all going to be able to establish some type of balance on offense? Zach Moss and Chase Brown aren't the scariest names, but they can be effective in the run game. Who's your X factor in this game? Is it a guy like rookie Jermaine Burton? Who's it going to be for the Cincinnati Bengals?
There it is.
Yes, sir.
That's the guy.
I see.
I mean, he had a in the preseason, when we drafted this dude, mind you, I watched film and stuff like that. I did interview guys with PFF and everything like that. And shout out to those guys. A lot of them had a first round grade on them. The one thing you could say the Bengals ain't shit. We ain't got no Super Bowls or whatever, but we always got wide receivers.
Sure do.
I don't care what year you look at the Bengals. It could be AJ Green. It could be TJ Houshmandzadeh. It could be Ocho Cinco. It could be whoever you want.
Tyler Boyd.
Tyler Boyd, like anybody. Jermaine Burton is a dude, bro.
Like that.
And the only reason why we got him is because of the character issues off the field. I'm praying that the staff, like they started putting him in. He had the #1 preseason out of all the wide receivers in the NFL in the preseason. Dominated anybody that was a third string, second ring, just catching passes, all of them. Go look at like the highlights from preseason. But when the season started, they let the vets like start over. Last week was the first time that they gave him like real snaps, 50-yard bomb down the field. He has this crazy way of separating like late, and he hasn't dropped the football in the whole 2023 season. I'm gonna knock on wood. And then so now, and then he didn't drop anything in preseason. He's one of my favorite players on the team. And if they give him more snaps, I don't feel like there's another offense that could fuck with us. If they keep on like trying to hold him back and like hold him off, like that's cool or whatever. But if I get single coverage with him, Joe Burrow's going to look for him. So yeah, everybody that's watching this, y'all gonna be like, man, Rio just was saying that shit. Burton is the dude to watch out for.
Bro, I like them for us in the draft also, bro. I like them for
he's
us.
Sneaky. Man. Like Higgins and Chase, you already know what time it is. You better tackle Chase. He's got a lower body of like a running back, so you better tackle, or he's breaking that shit. I feel like the teams that we've played, they did a real good job with no T. Higgins, just doubling up, triple teaming them all game. But now that T. Higgins is back, I don't think you could do that. But now Burton is the other X factor. It's like they work the stuff. Like you talked about the running backs. Yes, I agree. I hated that they let Mixon go. That was my dog. Zach Moss ain't shit to scare anybody. All these areas for is if we see a light box, they're just gonna give him a shotgun run. He get like 5-6 yards. Chase Brown is the guy that can make big plays. Like I don't know if y'all play fantasy football. If you could stash Chase Brown, I think they'll give him the keys to the car like later on. That's a good guy, but they're not trying to run the ball like that. One of the bigger problems with the Bengals is they don't want to run the ball and then they don't stay consistent with running the ball. But when they do hit a couple runs, like the play action that they ran last week with the 50-yard bomb off of Burton is what I view. Like that's what I think the Bengals should be, is like that.
Hell yeah, but I know you got to run up out of here. So before you go, give me your prediction for Monday night's game. Give me a prediction, a score prediction, how you think this is going to fare.
All right, I'm a little superstitious, so I think the Bengals win this. I don't know what the spread is. It's probably like 8 or 9.
8.5.
I don't know. I don't know if they cover that. I think that they win somewhat comfortably. Maybe it might be like a touchdown or something like that, where they have the ball and they just like run out the clock. But that's how I have it looking. I do think you guys running the football consistently is going to be a problem for the Bengals, where it's going to limit the amount of possessions. So I don't expect them to go crazy unless y'all giving up big plays to like Chase or somebody like that. That's the only way, or else they're going to just dink and dunk their way down the field. It might not be the most exciting game of all time, or it could, but in my mind, I don't know. Maybe I respect the Commanders more than the average fan, I guess. And I think that they have enough to slow it down. And what I've seen from you guys offensively, like I said, your interior offensive line is going to be a big thing that you guys should lean on. I think the whole the Scary Terry conversation and shit, y'all need to go and give him a shot early in the game just to back the defense up. I would do that. There's a couple of things that I think you guys could do. I think Zach Ertz could eat a little bit too. In our scheme, we do have problems with tight ends sometimes, but all these things kind of make it where you're close enough. But I feel like if Joe Burrow's got the ball at the end, like I'm a Bengal fan, like I got it. Like that's my dub right there. So, and I told you the urgency, like we got to win.
Yep, gotta win. It's a desperation zone for them. I have no reason to pick Washington to win this game, and that's why I'm gonna pick Washington to win this game. I got us 23-20 in a Jayden Daniels coming out party on Monday Night Football against the Cincinnati Bengals. I'm probably the only person in the world that's gonna pick us to win. We're good to beat a team we shouldn't beat once a year. I'm cashing in mines early. Thank you for pulling up to the channel today. Let folks know where they can find you, because you got to sub up a real one like my guy.
Yes, sir. I appreciate you having me again. I do a show with my partner. It's called Cincinnati. Instead of Cincinnati is written right there. But you just put a W in front of it, it'll pop right out. Or you can catch me on Twitter or Instagram. I got a good following on the Instagram and the Twitter. I'm trying to build up some other stuff, but it's just ZIMWHODEY. All one word. That's it.
ZIMWHODEY, y'all heard the guy. He's got the Bengals winning. I got Washington pulling it out by a field goal. Appreciate you for chopping it up with me today, my guy.
Appreciate you having me, man. Y'all keep on rocking, man. Appreciate you.
Be easy. I'll chop it up with you in the chat, man. Yes, sir. We brought a real one on today, y'all. We brought some heavy hitters. My boy Zim knows ball, and he's from the city. As soon as I popped on off camera with the dude, I said, nigga, where you from? Like, where are you from? That sounds like a DC dude, man. That's good vibes. That's good energy. I think Washington pulls our one upset of the season out of our hat like a magician, and we somehow keep the ball out of Joe Burrow's hand. 23-20, Washington Commanders. Jayden Daniels throws his first 2 touchdowns of the season, red zone touchdowns. Terry McLaurin gets active on a Monday night, and Washington's going to find a way to come across that motherfucking goal line with a victory on Monday Night Football. Man, let's cook it up, y'all. Jayden Daniels in prime time, baby. They set the scene. Cam Taylor-Britt ain't say nothing wrong. He ain't say nothing he's not supposed to say. That team he's the number 1 rated corner in the NFL right now. He should feel confident about playing against a young developing team. Zim was sharp. That boy knew ball, and he talks ball like a real one. He's not out here imitating being a PFF analyst, ESPN media guy. I like that type of energy, and that's my type of show right there. Definitely got to chop it up with Zim again on the show. How y'all feeling about this one? We still got 196 in the chat. Smash that like button for your boy. Fuck them. Fuck them, man. There's no reason to pick us. There's no reason to pick us. There's no reason we should believe we should win this game other than this is an 0-2 and desperate football team. It's literally their last lifeline for this season, because 0-3 in the AFC North and in the AFC in general could be a death sentence unless you go on an absolute heater to close out the game. Please end our Monday night woes. I've seen us do it before, y'all. I've seen us do it before. I appreciate it. I appreciate y'all rocking with the boy. This was a very good preview. Before I close it out, give me some score predictions and some game predictions in the comments. Give me some score predictions. I think Terry McLaurin has heard all the rhetoric. He's heard all the conversations from me, Lake, and everybody. It's been a big cloud and a big bubble of, is Terry McLaurin a number 1 wide receiver? I think it's time that we find a way to get Terry the ball, but get him the ball effectively. On slants where he could break a tackle and take shit to the crib. On a nice deep dig. On a nice skinny post reminiscent of his first NFL game versus the Philadelphia receiver. We should be worried, but we know they're going to get theirs. We know they're going to get theirs. Rio has been on fire. You know, we out here with the content now. We at home with it. We full time with it now. When's the last time we played Burrow? Was it the ACL game in 2020 where Chase smacked him on the goal line? Was that the last time we played Burrow? I'm trying to think. Have we played them since then? Somebody remind me if we've played the Bengals since then. I don't recall playing these boys since 2020. Miracles do happen 24-17. Exactly. Let's go. Let's go. Burrow has PTSD against us. Remember that leg? That shit was disgusting, bro. That shit did not make me feel okay. It did not make me feel all right at all. I'm loving the positivity I'm seeing in the chat. Fuck it, bro. Fuck it. Keep the good vibes going. I love it. I love it. Washington, left hand up. Let's get it. That's the first and only time. So it's our first time. See, we played them during the Chase hit. Yep, in 2020, where Burrow tore his ACL that game. Chase was actually good at football at the time. But, man, we know what Jamar Chase do. We know what T. Higgins do. And according to Zim, that boy Jermaine Burton is one of them ones as well. Don't lose routes to Trent Irwin and Iasavis, or however the fuck you say the Princeton kid's name on that offense. Please, if you're going to lose to those guys, lose to the guys that are getting paid the big bucks. What up, Rio? First time catching you live. Do you think we should overreact if Washington wins? I think in the moment we are allowed to. This team does not get many nice things in the past. This team has not won many big games in the past. They are good every now and then to shock someone and show up, like the Pittsburgh Steelers in 2020 or the Eagles, the undefeated Eagles on Monday Night Football in 2022. So we shouldn't talk about Super Bowl or playoffs coming off it, but if you beat a Super Bowl contending team with a top 3 quarterback and a top 3 wide receiver with sights of a Lombardi trophy on prime time in front of the whole world to see, with a rookie quarterback, a rookie GM, and 20-something new players, you poke your fucking chest out, you scream like you're King Kong, and we talking our shit until we play the Arizona Cardinals next week. We are going on to Victory Tuesday, Victory Wednesday, and we can turn the page on Thursday. If we win this game, we talking our shit. We talking our shit, because if there's one thing this team has not had, it's nice things. Appreciate you for the donation and that beautiful question, by the way. Cornerback 4, Noah Igbenogany on Chase and Higgins. If we had Forbes in 30 rep, Newton, I'd take the spread, but I hope we're competitive. That's all I hope at the end of the day. I'm predicting us to win mostly out of my heart and not out of my head. I would not put any money on it, but we got to earn some respect in this league, and for guys to start picking us to win these games, for people to start believing in us and stop talking about our offense like it's rinky-dink and college-y and our quarterback like he's a fucking running back. We need to go out and earn that respect. And Jayden is a big game player. He's a big time player. And I'm going to continue this narrative because I spoke with someone who attended LSU that works in PR. I will not put any names on this situation. I asked them, low-key storyline, I don't feel like Jayden Daniels and Joe Burrow like each other. Am I off by saying that? You do not have to say anything concrete or personal, but please let me know if I'm wrong in saying that. And this person told me, yeah, I don't really think they like each other that much. They just respect the fact that they both won the Heisman and played for LSU. And that person told me that they think it's more of a cultural thing. Like they run in different circles. Jayden's always around and with the players and stuff. Like she was like, you would probably see Jayden do a jersey swap with Jamar Chase before you see it with Joe Burrow. And that's what she told me. I'm not going to put anything behind it, but that could be a low-key storyline. We're going to see. Are they putting Jamin Davis in the game? I'm not sure. They should, but we're going to see. I'm starting to think Mina Kimes is our biggest sports media op. She doesn't like Cliff Kingsbury, and apparently she thinks Dan Quinn's going to be on the hot seat at some point this season. And I love Mina Kimes, and she's entitled to say and feel however she needs to, but I really want to know if there's something personal there for Cliff Kingsbury, because she gets a little bit of a hard on, and she gets a little too charged up to start pouring the fire on. Did y'all see Cliff Kingsbury and Joe Witt's press conferences today? They both look ready for the big stage. Joe Witt pointed out that only 4 players on the defense right now are playing his style of aggression and violence and physicality. And it's the 2 linebackers, Frankie Louvu and Bobby Wagner. And he said Benjamin St-Juste and Quan Martin. Did not mention the 2 defensive tackles. That stands out to me. We have a chance here if the defense can click. It's just how the cornerbacks do. I don't see BSJ shutting down Chase and our cornerback 2 being viable. Sanders is still struggling. The game's got to slow down for him. Mikey Sanders still, I look at his development a little bit like I looked at Kendall Fuller's development early on for the Washington Redskins back in the day. It started off slow. I mean, Kendall Fuller's whole career starts off slow. He doesn't get going until around Halloween every year. But once the game slows down for him, once he's not guessing and he's just playing without thinking about all the mathematic arithmetic going on in his head of the pace of the NFL, it's going to slow down. He's going to start balling, man. He's going to start balling. It's okay to dream, but in a real fan, we literally don't have much of a shot. In a real fan, I mean, I'm a real fan, so are you calling me not a real fan? Or are you saying, like, realistically speaking? Because if that's the case, Mina is a Seahawks fan, but she objectively talks about football from a very wide scope standpoint, but she does not have any respect for what he does. What defense she is. I like her. I think she knows ball. I think she talks about ball in a very detailed, analytical manner. And I'm not always for analytics, but she puts it in a way that I like to hear it. I love it. I watch it. Your next stream is always your first one. Your stream is always first. I appreciate that, man. So Sunday, we're going live all day. Rio Red Zone. We're going to be hate watching the NFC East. We're going to go through the 1 o'clock and 4 o'clock segments of Sunday, all day watching those games. And on Monday night, we're going to start when the first game starts, the Jag Bills at 7 o'clock. And we're going to go all the way through Washington at Cincinnati. And then after that, we're going to do a post-game show. We're going to hit in stream. We're going to start up another one. It's been a lot of weird, unpredictable fuckery going on at the start of the NFL season. If we win, the NFC East roundtable will be wearing paper bags. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Don't let us come into week 4 with only 2-win team in the division. We love a good hate watch. Yes, sir. It is the player haters ball on Sunday and on Thursday when the Cowboys and Giants play on Thursday Night Football. But that's going to do for this one, man. If we got anything else to talk about before the end of the day or some news comes out, I'll be here to report it. Time for me to go on daddy duty for a couple days. I got some pre-recorded stuff I'm going to be dropping over the next day or so. I will see y'all on Sunday afternoon. Hail to the Washington Commanders. Fuck what anybody got to say. Let's go win ourselves a goddamn football game. Fuck the Cincinnati Bengals. Respect them, but fuck them. Washington can win, and this is a winnable football game for both of these teams, point blank, period. We shall see on Monday night. Thank you, all you people who stopped by the stream today. We had a little bit over 200 in for the majority of the stream. Smash that like button on the way out for your boy. It is free. It costs nothing. And thank you for helping my channel get to 13,000 subscribers. To the moon we go, all 2024. I will talk to y'all in a couple days. Until next time, hail to the Washington Commanders. Love every single one of you. Have a blessed and highly favored weekend. I will see